I'm on one of my little nightly strolls. I don't know if y'all can see it too well, but I'm walking down the train tracks and shit. Now, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Update. So Don Roley has agreed to fight me, presumably. I don't know. I haven't heard any feedback since he posted some shit on my blog, and then posted some shit on YouTube, and then took it away. And then other people come up and, oh, he said this, because that gives them that whole I don't know. Uh, Plausible deniability. Say somebody else said it or somebody else, whatever. So, I have no clue. We might be fighting, we might not. I will be trying to get hold of martial arts instructors. I've called a couple of schools. I'm waiting on the instructors to call me back. Beyond that, whatever. It really doesn't matter at this point. I've effectively beaten him. The fact that Roley used my own methods that he picked up from my earlier blogs that I did, the Choho no Jutsu blog and the one dealing with Keep Your Enemies Closer, where I actually showed how I use some of the principles I teach in the or write about in the Black Dragon Ninjutsu manual, the book. And you use that on Dukes, and then, which Dukes had his own little agenda anyways, and then I'm using it on him. So here's what we have. Don Roley, supposedly, presumably, is going to be coming to Beckley to fight me. Okay, I'm cool. This will be completely different from what happened with Icy Mike, and here's why. Whoa, power just went out. But it'll be completely different from what happened with Icy Mike. With Icy Mike, I actually held back. Now, I want you to understand something. Do not get this shit fucked up. I am not saying that I'm some kind of uber badass and I held back on Icy Mike, and that's, the big difference. The fact of the matter is, Icy Mike would have fucked me up. Even if I had won that fight and went all out and stepped up my game, he would have stepped up his game, because he was holding back too. And if I had won, I would have took a worse beating than what I did simply by taking a dive on that fight. Simple as that. But the only way I'm going to get Roley to fight me is if he thinks he can win. And so I haven't said anything about me holding back on Icy Mike. Haven't said anything about me taking a dive on the fight, for the simple fact that, well, I didn't want to say nothing about it until now. See, here's what you need to remember. It doesn't matter if I say I took a dive. It doesn't matter if I say I held back. It doesn't matter what excuses I make, or if I make 10 million excuses, or what. Because here is the important thing to remember. A loss is a loss. There's nothing I say that can turn that loss into a win. Simple as that. So, it don't matter. Nothing I say changes the fact that Icy Mike won that fight. Nothing I say excuses the fact that Icy Mike won that fight. The reason I have not commented on my breakdown of the fight and my assessment of the fight or anything else is because, like I said, I took that dive. But I did that trying to bait Don Roley in, and I did. It worked. Then I don't know why he suddenly, started trying to pretend, deleted his comment and then on YouTube, and then suddenly started trying to pretend like, I was doing it and I wasn't going to fight him, unless, of course, he was going for the illusion of saying I wasn't going to fight him, because I didn't approve his comment immediately because I hadn't paid my phone bill. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you about that. My phone bill was due on the 3rd. I didn't pay it until the 5th because I was gone from the internet for a couple of days. Now, here's what's important to realize. Number one, first and foremost, I've proven that Don Roley gives more about the internet than I do. He cares about what people think. That's why he's been chasing me around the internet trying to defend his win in Lexington last year. Yeah, that's key. Think about that. Now, the other factor in this is that, he's now chasing me to prove that he wants to fight because he hasn't stepped up to a fucking thing. Now, technically, if we were to go by the very deal that me and Icy Mike made before, Don Roley would have to fight Icy Mike since Icy Mike beat my ass. And, well, that's not going to happen. But I do remember on the OG something about Don Roley saying that he had no problem fighting Icy Mike, but he didn't want to be distracted from fighting me. So, I guess after me, Icy Mike's gonna get his shot. He can run around and be the ninja killer. Speaking of which, Don Roley wants somebody there to film the whole thing as one of his little conditions. I don't know how many people he wants to bring with him. I'd almost be tempted to ask Icy Mike if he wants to film, just to show there, just to be my second, just for the fuck of it, just so he can sit there and be like, oh, so these are the guys Don Roley's gonna bring. But nah, that'd just be more chaos. I don't think he wants to be drawn into any more internet drama bullshit with ninjas. And since I often say that ninjutsu is not a martial art, it's actually ancient Japanese espionage and psychological manipulation and stuff like that. Well, here's the thing. You can look at the veritable different arts out there. You can look at MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You could cross-train in different styles. In fact, mixed martial arts has actually picked up to that point to where people often study traditional martial arts for the sake of getting discipline and learning about culture, and then they move into mixed martial arts to learn to be effective and competitive. Then they learn some self-defense system to pick up on all those dirty fighting techniques they also learn in the traditional martial arts, which tend to be a little bit more scientific as a self-defense system. So you have to go to different areas to get a more complete idea of what you're dealing with. And so it'll be kind of interesting. But I got Don Roley, presumably, to come to West Virginia to fight me. Yeah. That is probably one of the more ultimate ninja mindfucks there is.